You guys have fun? Yeah. Long day. Long day. Excited about our pick. Go ahead, shoot.
Give us the rationale. Why did you pick him?
Yeah.
You did, but you had a lot of needs, and what made you guys focus in on him?
Yeah, we know we do well when we have consensus in our group, and that's from scouting, coaching, R&D, and we really had that with Ricky. He's a guy who throughout the process we liked early, and it kept getting stronger, and does a lot of things well, does a lot of the things we covet at that position well, and we believe we have a real strong group there, and we wanted to add another player. And you know, Ricky is a very versatile player, and also has some punt return value that you know, we think will come in handy. So just felt like it was the right guy at the right time, and really excited about it.
How does he fit your system?
He just plays the position real well. I mean, whether he was outside, inside, either receiver, all three of the positions. He can separate down the field, he can separate underneath, got really good hands, extremely smart, very well developed. You can tell he's, I guess I'd call it a gym rat or something, because you can just see he's worked on his routes, put in a lot of hours, because you can see it on tape, and there's really nothing you can't do. You can fit in whatever role based off the other guys.
There was a catch he had in college, I think, against Charlotte, where I guess it showed his contact courage, I guess as you like to say. Is that a trait that kind of won you guys over to?
Yeah, he's one of the, I mean, just, there's not one play that you see him turn something down. I mean, he's going to go over the middle and do everything he can to catch that ball and not worry about anything else. When he's on the sidelines, he's not taking the easy way out. He makes guys tackle him. He's not looking for a place to fall. And when he doesn't have the ball, he plays just as hard when the ball's not in his hands.
Kyle and I mean, there's the highlight ones, but then there's just subtle in his day-to-day, game-to-game play. Kyle and I were watching a play today where he broke a tackle, he gets through and just gets popped, and he's equipped to take those hits, almost like he likes the physicality of the game. He enjoys run blocking, our kind of style.
There were a number of reports today on potential trades for Deebo Samuel or Brandon Ayuk. Are those true? Is that still in play? And does this pick indicate anything?
Why is it always us? But you know, I don't know. You know, I know that we're continuing to have positive talks with BA, and you know, we are really efforting to get something done with him, and we're excited about continuing down that path. And Brandon being a part of this team, Deebo is a part of this team and a big part of this team. So, like I said, we feel great about that group, and we feel like we just made it better with another really good addition to it who complements the group real well.
When you close the door on a trade?
Never close the door on a trade. I mean, we, you know, we'll always listen, and we have, and but we like our group as it stands.
Well, is it at least logical to think that it would have taken something in the first round for you guys to consider trading Brandon, and now that the first round is over, that's unlikely that you would move?
Yeah, I thought it was unlikely going into it, but that doesn't mean that it can't happen. So I mean, you listen to everything. Everything's about trying to improve our team as much as we can for 2024 without jeopardizing 25 as much as possible. So that's everything you look into, and whenever that opportunity comes, whichever way, if you can improve your team, you do that.
John,
sometimes it's hard to picture proving your team though without.
John, the run on receivers getting big money, A.J. Brown, Amon from Detroit. Is that concerning when it comes to bringing in Ayuk, or is that something you just expected from the market?
Yeah, you expected that the market would take a bit of a leap this year. I think it surely has, and you know, I think it tells you it's a premium position in our league right now. The ball's being thrown a lot, and we're asking these players to do a lot. So it's the reality, and you know, deal with that.
Was Ricky Pearsall one of your 22 first-round grades? Do you feel he you brought it up? And do you feel he makes your team better now?
Yeah, we had a high grade on Ricky, and you know, we're for all the reasons we've told you, we're really excited to have Ricky part of our team.
Kyle, we hear the word comp thrown out pretty much on draft scenarios. Can you give us a comp on Ricky Pearsall? Who does he remind you of?
It's tough. I don't know if I want to dude. Like, reminds me of myself, just a lot faster, much better hands, can jump, can just do everything much better.
Do you see him as,
I don't want to be held to that forever. I'll let you do that.
did you see him as an outside receiver then at Plug Pile, or do you see him more as a slot?
I see him as both. I mean, he's got the 40 to still get on top of people on the outside, which where that starts a little bit. I mean, you just got to have a threat of that to scare guys in a go route. And if you can do that, you can separate on the other routes. But he can get out of his break very well. He's not huge, but he's still got a good body to where he can handle it on any side or any length of a corner. So, I mean, all of our receivers who play outside, they also play inside. So, we kind of want a guy who can do it all.
Did he come
Part
in
of the
for a,
process, I'm sorry, Matt. Part of the process, you know, when we go through, we ask our guys, coaches, scouts to build these highlight tapes, and you know, we usually ask the coaches, you know, give us their best stuff, and then show some plays that have some of their perceived weaknesses. The one really impressive thing with Ricky, his highlight tape just kept going and going and going, and you saw it when you watch games. But Kyle and I were sitting there, and you know, we're like 85 plays deep, and consistently really solid plays, and some wild plays as well. So I think he's an extremely consistent player who makes a lot of plays at, you know, at a high rate, and does so week in, week out. So that's exciting to add a player of that quality to our group.
did he come in for a 30 visit, and did Brandon have any comments?
Ricky did not come in.
Ricky did not.
No.
He was teammates with Brandon at Arizona State. I mean,
Yeah.
did you guys get his feedback at all on
Brandon
it?
just texted.
But we got in the way in.
Yeah. Fire pick.
Fire pick.
Fire,
So,
okay.
Can't lie.
Kyle, I know you
So
always.
Herm, I talked to Herm though.
Yeah.
Herm, you know, Herm and I are close, and you know, I remember when he was a true freshman at A-State, started telling me about this kid and how excited he was about him, and spent his time there, and then moved over to Florida, and you know, even upped his game against you know, as good a competition as you'll find in college football.
Kyle, I know you always value what receivers do when the ball isn't in their hands. What stood out about Ricky when he didn't have the ball in his hands?
That he makes guys tackle him. You know, you watch so many guys who just, they get what's there and they go down. And sometimes people are cool with that and stuff, and sometimes a guy just doesn't like that. And you kind of want to not have to ask guys to fight for every yard. You like to, you'd rather have to pull them back. And when you watch a guy who just fights for everything he can do and makes people tackle him, regardless of your make-miss ability, just with your hands and how good they are, so you can transition and get upfield. With fearlessness, you can be good after the catch. But then you watch some of his cutting ability, which makes him a punt return option and things like that, and knowing that he does have the ability to make some guys miss and create edges with his hands, with the kind of his mindset of being fearless. I feel he's gonna be good after the catch. We've got some pretty good guys to be in that group in that way.
Sorry. If teams didn't know you were open for business at receiver, they definitely do now. Are you gonna get calls through the night? Do you plan on this going through to when teams are on the clock tomorrow? Is this kind of the reality now for you guys?
I can't predict, you know, what we're gonna get. I'm gonna go home, go to bed,
Turn
wake
the
up,
phone
come
off
in here
and
tomorrow,
keep it up.
and fire it up, and try to add some more really quality players to our team. This is always an exciting process, and looking forward to it.
Did you get any input from Brock?
Did you think you were close on any trades at all, to move up or down?
Colin, if I remember correctly, 2 years ago, when you got through the first round with Devo, you said nothing came close. I think you said we're not gonna trade him. Something. Is this a little different with Brandon? That it's still kind of on the table?
I mean, I'm getting mature, I think, as I get older. Everything's always on the table.
Did you get any input
That's a
from?
better answer for me.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't seem that likely, to be honest, but like, I mean, I'm still on the table. If someone offers Jed and John some good stuff for me, I'm gonna be out of here, sure.
Or John?
But,
John,
yeah.
I mean, was this pick in any effect of knowing you have these two receivers, or could be very, you know, if you sign Brandon, it could be very expensive. If you are
All that comes into play, but I think the hardest thing when guys look at needs and stuff in rosters, especially when it's a position that's not quarterback, where lots of guys play and you have different personnel packages, like needs aren't always so obvious just that year. They can become a lot bigger in the second year. They can be bigger in the first year. You never know how someone's going to play out, so that need can be extremely important right now, or training camp. But you also know we have to get some draft picks in here of some younger guys that are for sure going to contribute just as these years go, and especially with Brock and things like that. And so all that plays into it. That's why it's not like you go in and say, hey, we need one now because of A, B, and C. There's like 4 positions we're really interested in being the right pick at 31. And all that, we have arguments for every single one, and it changes each day because they all do make sense. And then when it gets to there, you got to take the one that makes the most sense, and that's just not as simple as what's totally obvious right now. It's kind of over a 3-year window, over a 4-year window, and when it comes to a first-round pick and a 5th-year option, it becomes over a 5-year window. And what that can do for a roster from a salary cap standpoint, from personnel to how you package these guys, 2 wideouts, 1 wideout, 3, some go 4 on the field at once, then, and especially you take it as a punt returner who we lost. There's just a lot of factors that go on that aren't just as obvious as it is when you just look at a need for that day.
Just to clarify, you guys were saying you can't close the door on a trade for IU. Is that the same for Debo?
But we didn't close the door. Like I said, we don't close the door on anything. I think that's what I said. Did you change my words?
No.
Oh,
I don't think so, but I could.
Probably.
But it was a little accident.
All right.
Kyle, Brock and Ricky played high school pretty close by. Is there familiarity there, any relationship, any knowledge of one another that you
I'm
know
not
of?
sure. We didn't ask
We
him.
didn't talk.
We want to tip our hand. Brock might tell you guys, so.
John, just to be
I'm
clear,
gonna ask him.
Brandon texted you, or did he text Kyle with the flyer?
It was John.
Yeah, he texted me on the way in. Yeah.
Was that nice to get?
Yeah.
I mean, BA, we have a tremendous relationship, and
It's a group text.
it's group text, both of us. Okay.
Good clarification.
Was the cat lie part of the text?
So that's just how people younger than you talk. Fire pick.
Fire pick,
No
can't
lie.
lie. Next one's from her. That's a great pick. We won't let you down. So
Is that a fire
we want to keep
emoji
going
or
with
the
things.
words fire?
Words.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we'll see
All
you
right.
tomorrow.
Thanks a lot.
No punctuation, hopefully. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.